It's time for Tech Talk with Spiky. Hello, Spiky. How
Hi.
are you doing today?
I'm very well, Selena. How are you doing?
So, what are we discussing?
So, a lot of people are getting logged out of their social media accounts again because, well, they don't have two-factor authentication. And when they sign in on another machine and someone gets access to their password, they can log into their accounts and log them out and basically take over their account.
Well, Spiky, before you continue, what is a two-factor authentication?
So imagine that you're going into your room and you have your keys, and then when you just turn the keys, the door opens, right? So what about anytime you turn your key, you have to verify that you are the owner of the keys and the room that you're about to go into. That's two-factor authentication. So basically when you try to open your door, you get a notification on a device that only you can have, your mobile phone. So when you get that message on your phone, you have to verify that this is me, I'm the one trying to get in, allow me to get in. Then it lets you get in.
Okay, so how important is this two-factor authentication?
Okay, so basically what it does is when someone gets your password, when they try to log in, you get a notification. So it's good to let you know when people are trying to enter your account. And two, it just basically gives them another hurdle to have to jump over to get into your account. That's basically making your security a tad tighter.
So how does it work?
So on Facebook, for instance, you have to go to your settings, your account settings.
Okay.
When you go to the account settings, you have a page that says login, security and login. When you go to your security and login page, you'll find two-factor authentication over there. I spoke about that in the previous episode. On Twitter, when you go to your settings on Twitter too, you go into your privacy and settings and you'll also find two-factor authentication in there. When you enable two-factor authentication in your Twitter setup, it makes sure that anytime you try to log into Twitter, it sends you a message that only you will receive on your phone that you have to verify. On Instagram, it's the same thing. You go to settings again, and then you scroll down to two-factor authentication, and then as you can see here, you click on enable two-factor authentication, and it will enable it. So if you have your phone number connected to your account, anytime you try to log into any of these accounts, it sends the code to your phone. There's also an app that you can use. It's called an authenticator, two-factor authenticator, like Google Authenticator. When you have this, it generates certain codes that anytime you have, maybe you don't have access to network or your phone is off, it gives you some codes that you can enter alternatively. But you have to keep these codes safe because when someone gets these codes, the person can still log in as you. So when you enable two-factor authentication on Instagram, you're safe. On LinkedIn, same thing. You go to the settings, you look for 2FA, two-factor authentication. Some people actually call it two-step verification. So that's the difference. If you don't see two-factor authentication, you might see two-step verification. Then you enable that. In your Gmail too, when you go to your Gmail, you go to your Google account, it's under sign-in and security. Under sign-in and security, you scroll down, and then you can add your two-step verification, as I mentioned earlier. You can add your two-step verification to your Google account. I have enabled mine since 3rd November 2017. So if I enter my password, I get a code or a prompt on my phone asking me, was this really you? Do you get that, Selinam, when you try to log in?
I do. I just want to find out, does this run across all social media platforms?
Yes. It's become a problem because imagine if someone got into your account and posted something as you. It would take a long time for you to come again and come and debunk it and say, hey, it wasn't me, my account was hacked. But if you have two-factor authentication or two-step verification, it just makes it more difficult for whichever hacker or whichever impersonator it is to get into your account. Another thing, though, is that your email is tied to most of your social media accounts. So if you're doing this for your social media, you might as well just do it for your email because your email can be used to get into your social media, right?
Yeah.
So I usually do not encourage people to use this mail service because it's not very secure. Lately, we've had a lot of security breaches with them. So I ask people to migrate to either Gmail or Outlook, any other one, any of the two, because they are quite secure than the previous one I mentioned.
Thank you very much, Spiky. And that's it for Tech Talk. Now, for our video of the day, we want to show you how television has evolved since its inception. Just so you know, today is World Television Day. It's a wrap for today. Thank you for watching Joy News Interactive. Join us next time. My name is Selinam Ampo. Bye for now.